Okay, here in Joshua chapter 15, we're going to learn about the tribe of Judah and their inheritance in Canaan. In fact, the Jebusites dwell with Judah at Jerusalem, so another group with them as well. So verse 1, this then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by their families, even to the border of Edom, the wilderness of Zin. Southward was the uppermost part of the south coast. Their south border was from the shore of the Salt Sea, from the bay that looketh southward. And it went out on the south of Amala, Akrabbim, and passed along to Zin, set up the south line into Kadesh Barnea, passed along to Hezron, went up to Adar, and fetched a compass to Karkah. From thence it passed toward Asmom, went out unto the river of Egypt, and the goings out of that coast were at the sea. This shall be your south coast. The east border was a salt sea, even to the end of Jordan, and their border in the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the uttermost part of Jordan. So they're talking about these, like giving the boundaries of where the tribe of Judah gets to reside, basically their inheritance. So they went up through all this. The border went up to Debir, the valley of Enkor, which is on the south side of the river, and they passed along, went up to the valley of Hinnon, onto the south side of the Jebusite. The same is Jerusalem. And the border went up unto the top of the mountain that lieth before the valley of Hinnom, westward, which is at the end of the valley of the giants, northward. That's probably the Philistines up there. And the border was drawn from the top of the hill unto the fountain of the water, Nephtoah, and went out to the cities of Ephron. So Judah covers this land that also encompasses the city of Jerusalem that we talked about a couple chapters ago. So they get to live there, and the Jebusites are another tribe of people that are there as well, and they get to live there also. So they get Jerusalem, which bodes well for Judah, actually, for the continuation of Judah, because that's where Jerusalem becomes the kind of the main central city for all of these tribes. Eventually, that becomes the main area for all the tribes to come. So they build the temple and things that centralizes all of Israel together, unifies the whole group. And then Judah gets to be there, because that makes a big difference when the tribes split and all those things as well happen. So really interesting how who got what lands is going to affect these tribes going forward. Okay, so let's jump to, let's see. So again, going into a lot of stuff in here that said, hey, here's how it was supposed to be promised. I'm going to jump really far for this. Actually, just jump to the end, basically, verse 63. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem unto this day. So apparently they tried to get rid of the Jebusites, but they couldn't. The city was too fortified, couldn't make it. They tried to kick them out, but they just wouldn't go. So they're dwelling together, basically. They came together to live. So pretty interesting. But this is where the tribe of Judah gets to sit, and this also follows like the kingdom of Judah when the kingdom split follows these lines as well. So let's jump into chapter 16 next.